Welcome back to the Talking with Taylor podcast. I'm your host, Taylor, where we talk with anyone about anything, and hopefully everyone around the table will listen. And today, we've got a very special guest, a current student, and actually about to be a former student very soon, is Mr. Clay Smelley. He is no longer just a UAB commit. He is now a UAB football player. We're very excited to have him on the show. Clay, how's it going?
It's going good. Nothing too much going on. Graduate tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then I'll be going to the beach with a couple friends. And then after that, I guess I'll be getting ready to go to college.
You go to UAB, so you report June 6th or 7th, is that right?
Yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about your journey to UAB. Your senior year, you guys had a great year, and homecoming, what happens? What happens at homecoming?
Well, I started out having probably the best game of my life. I mean, honestly, I was just doing really well. I think I had like 2 or 3 catches already on the day. I've already, a couple flatbacks, a couple highlights definitely on the film I'd put on it. I was already thinking about that. Then about the second quarter, towards the end of the half, I go for almost like a streak up the middle of the field. And when I went to go catch the ball, the safety hit me, so I fell down first, and he kind of went up in the air a little bit because, he had to throw his whole body into me. And when he fell down right on my foot in a really awkward way.
Yeah.
And so, when I got up, I limped off a little bit, but I tried to keep on playing. I played like 1 or 2 more snaps, I think. And then all of a sudden, it just would not even let me move it, and I couldn't walk at all. No pressure on it, nothing. And so I was like, man, this is weird. No pain. I sit there and I'm like, I guess because of my adrenaline, I had no pain. I just couldn't walk. That's what I told the trainers. They were all mad at me. Everybody thought I was faking or something.
Yeah.
But then we go, and Dr. Bentley, who is a team doctor, came up, ran up, did his little test, nothing with the medical stuff, but just kind of seeing it. And he said, I think it's something, I forgot. He thinks it's a sprain. He said, don't worry about it too much. I still wouldn't play. And then about 30 minutes later, he said, no, let's go ahead and go to the doctor tomorrow, and we're going to do a x-ray and stuff. And when they did the x-ray, they saw it was a clean fracture on the navicular bone. And they said that usually doesn't happen often. It was kind of freakish.
Yeah, well, a freakish injury, but it did not stop your recruiting process. And so let's talk a little bit about that, because you have a unique experience. We had Bo Burks on, who's being recruited right now after COVID. But you were being recruited during COVID. So let's talk about the COVID recruiting process.
Well, this summer I planned on going to a bunch of different camps. I was going to go to the Sanford, UAB. I was going to go to a camp up in Georgia. I had about 5 or 6 camps planned out, and that was kind of what I hope would kind of kickstart the Division I level recruiting process, because I've already had the Division III and Division II, but I really wanted to see if I could get to that Division I level. And so right whenever I planned all the camps, and then COVID hit, and so they said that we were going to still try to do the camps. I wasn't talking to the coaches at this point over the summer, but then about probably late May is when they just canceled all of it, kind of when it got to the worst part of COVID, and they were like, we're not going to do any camps this summer. NCAA, I don't think, allowed it.
Right.
And so I couldn't do that. I ended up going to some camp in Birmingham. It was a different camp, and it was a bunch of Division II and Division I AA coaches, and that's kind of where I started as far as recruiting process goes. After that camp, I talked to West Georgia.
Yeah.
And that kind of started that. But then during the season, it slowed down really bad because that was back, the NCAA Division I teams were in their season. They're not going to say much. I was still trying to contact. I was just reaching out anywhere, and no one was responding really. And then I broke my foot. And so I was kind of like, well, I guess, that was my last game was what I was assuming, just because my options were limited, and I really wanted to finish out the season. So then I made my highlight film, and I posted on my Twitter.
Yeah.
And my coach retweeted it, and then about 30 minutes, I had about 4 different coaches text me.
Yeah.
And it was Sanford texted me first, and then Mississippi College, and then right after that, UAB texted me, and they were all like, hey, can we talk? Just started that process. And when we were on the phone, they were like, this is really weird. We usually you come to a junior day or a senior day visit, talk to us in person, then we'd probably look at film and game film, but film is all they had. That's kind of the new recruiting for seniors like me who didn't really have anything else to go off of. And so they went and looked at that, and I got a preferred walk-on from all 3 of those schools, and I was, still going to wait and see if I could find anything else, and then it kind of just slowed back down again, and I was, of course, super blessed to get those opportunities, and so I was decided about December that I was going to go to UAB.
Well, man, that's incredible, and UAB is a great school, and excited for you and this opportunity. And so, before we wrap up, UAB, what made you choose UAB? Because all those are great schools. Why UAB?
Well, I really wanted to do it not just for sports, but for academics.
Yeah.
I'm real into biological or sciences, and so I was thinking about going pre-med, and UAB's already been probably one of my top one or two schools the entire time ever since I was younger. And so I was kind of just drawn towards that. And then once I couldn't do it in person obviously, but on virtual tour, I went and saw the campus. I saw the new facilities, and everything is just brand new. The amount of time and stuff that UAB has invested into the football program really showed me how much they cared about it and how awesome it was just awesome, honestly, when I looked at it. And then I got to talk to the coaches, and the coaching staff is probably the best coaching staff I've ever talked to. Coach Clark, the head coach. I talked to Coach Vincent and Coach Craddock. They all have a ton of experience, very good coaches. They're starting to get highly reputable, and so it was just a best fit for me possible.
Yeah, well, you look at UAB, you look at Coach Clark and what he's been able to do. Literally gave up opportunities to stay when their football program did not exist, right? And so
shut down in 2015, I believe.
Yeah, shut down 2015, and I've driven by the new stadium. It looks incredible. And so, Clay, we're super excited to watch you in the fall and watch your journey as a no longer high school football player, but college football player. And, man, congrats on the offer. And anything you want to leave our listeners with before we go?
I think I'm good. Just don't give up on your dreams, and kind of God sets his own path for you, so trust in that and trust in that process to do it.
Well, thank you so much, Clay. And guys, you heard it right from him. We're excited about his future, and thank you so much for listening to the Talking with Taylor podcast.